couldn't get it in.
Welcome for Brant Miller.
Thank you. It's great to be here. And I'm going to start off with a song that I got the idea from. I used to work in the forestry, and there was this road I went down quite a bit to do some work called Genesis Road. And so I kind of wrote that down. It seemed like a great title for something. So years later, I figured out what I wanted to write. In the beginning, I was born to a sweet home, where the love of my dear family will go bound. Lonely rushing waters, above me deep green hills. I was a fool, ever leave that hallowed ground. It all began on Genesis Road, where the wild Obed River flowed, where the seeds of all I am were sown. These roots run deeper than the miles, they keep me from their loving smiles. I'm searching for way back to the fold, to where it all began on Genesis Road. Trying to make a name, nearly left behind. Up here 50 stories, never felt so low, thinking of those aching hearts I left behind. It all began on Genesis Road, where the wild Obed River flows, where the seeds of all I am were sown. Roots run deeper than the miles, keep me from their loving smiles. Searching for a way back to the fold, where it all began on Genesis Road. Hope it's not too late, a lesson learned. On my journey home, I'll pray for one bridge left unburned. Obed River flows, where the seeds of all I ever sown. These roots run deeper than the miles, they keep me from their loving smiles. I'm searching for a way back to the fold, to where it all began on Genesis Road. Yeah, it all began on Genesis Road. I've heard people say that, you know, this is the first time they've played in front of a lot of people or any people, and I feel the same way. I'm it's kind of a little nerve-wracking to be in front of actual people and not a computer screen. But it's great. But it's great. So thank you so much for coming. And here's a tune that kind of may bring out a flood of emotions in you. Pun intended. The blue skies are behind us. We thought they'd always last, but we're bound to hit rough weather when we fast. We tried to have it all. Now just like way back when, flood waters are rising again. At first we kept it simple, but simple's hard to do. So bigger, faster, richer became the golden rule. What was a distant rumble is now thunder without end. Flood waters are rising again. Oh, but it felt so good living for the moment and making our own rules. Oh, we'll need more than wood to build the boat that keeps afloat. Such big fools. We just worked together, we still could turn the tide and rebuild these half-burned bridges that hang on for dear life. If we don't take the high road, we'll be washed out with the sand. Flood waters are rising again. Oh, but it felt so good living for the moment, making our own moves. Oh, we'll need more than wood to build a boat that stays afloat with such big fools. What was a distant rumble is now thunder without end. Flood waters are rising again. If we don't take the high road, we'll be washed out with the sand. Flood waters are rising again. Oh, flood waters are rising again. Thank you. Okay, I seem to be in the key of G a lot today in this set list I put together, but hopefully the songs are different enough to not kind of blend into one. Here's a song inspired by spending too much time at places like in Nashville, like Groom Guitars and Carter's Vintage Guitars, where you see all these great instruments and they're all really expensive, and every year you go they're more expensive, and then you kind of turn 60, then 65, then 69 and say, wait a minute, what's happened to me? So what's happened to our worth? So this was inspired, this song. I got a Martin flat-top guitar, born in '53. She's worth more every year, and she's the same damn age as me. We both have lots of living and songs under our belts. She keeps on sounding sweeter, so do I, best I can tell. 'Cause we're vintage, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and picking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill. We're vintage. got a good gal about my age, fine as she can be. She'll outlove and she'll outshine any gal of 23. We don't move quite as fast, but we sure arrive in style. It's all about the journey and it's all about the smiles. 'Cause we're vintage, everybody, yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear, what a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking and clicking. Ain't over the hill, still getting our thrill, we're vintage. Well, we could rest on our laurels, but time ain't on our side. Too much to say, do and play, so we'll play till we up and die. Oh, we're vintage. Yeah, we're vintage. A little worse for the wear. What a blast just getting there. No spring chickens, but we're still kicking like the Dickens. Ain't over the hill, still getting our fill, we're vintage. Ain't over the hill, still getting a thrill, we're vintage. Ain't over the hill and we're loving it still, we're vintage. By the way, I have a CD there on the table behind David if anyone wants a copy that I did in 2020. And that song's on it, and just, you know, we're giving them away. So I'm going to take a little drink of water, get a little dry. Okay. The next song is, I guess, one of my most recent ones, a month ago or something. And it's kind of, you ever think back about old friends and old loves and in the past, and you kind of wonder what they're doing, where they are. This is a song I wrote about an old friend of mine when I lived back in Croton-on-Hudson, New York, where I grew up. Enough for Gorilla. Okay. Images flow in a crazy collage with a little apartment above that garage. I was just 17, she was 25. We lived up the road and I visit sometimes. Two faded Persian rugs on the wall above that blue sofa where we laughed and talked. Her smile was the widest, green eyes the brightest, with a sparkle that I wish I could see once more. Been dreaming of Maggie again. A long time ago, she was my dear friend. Like a welcoming hug in the VW bug. Tell me where all those years went. Dreaming of Maggie again. Through college and jobs, I'd always return to share hopes and plans and stories with her. The last time I saw her, got lost at the border, somewhere between good friends and lovers. Been dreaming of Tell me where all those years went. Been dreaming of Maggie again. I heard from a friend back home, she volunteers for the local food bank since retiring last year. In a photo he texted, she still had that smile. I couldn't quite tell, but I prayed that the sparkle's still there. Been dreaming of Maggie again. A long time ago, she was my dear friend. I like her welcoming hug and her VW bug. Tell me where all those years went. Been dreaming of Maggie again. Been dreaming of Maggie again. Thank you so much. How much time do we have, David?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to a little different change of pace here and get to utilize my capo, which has been lonely there on the nut. I can even tune a little bit. Not perfect. Yeah, this is a song I wrote with a couple of buddies, and we have a trio called Second Nature. And we wrote this some years ago about a law that was passed in Tennessee that legislators in their greater wisdom thought that we all needed, and we really did need it, I think. Our legislators passed it, it's law in Tennessee. What we find on the highway is legal now to eat. Deer, raccoon, and possum have all become fair game. It's an open season smorgasbord on every state highway. We used to swerve to miss them, but the grocery bill's so high. We supplement our shopping out on that center line. Grandpa says it's the best thing since Roosevelt's New Deal. 'Cause it ain't like a handout, it's more like Meals on Wheels. Yeah, we got the roadkill bill. This is sing-along too. Folks in Tennessee can get their fill. It's giving brand new meaning to the phrase hot off the grill. Now that we have the roadkill bill. This one actually got played on Car Talk, Click and Clack, so that's our shining moment. Well, they laughed at us on Menlo and they tried to put us down. But when a buck will feed the family, well, look who's laughing now. This stuff is all free-ranging, organic to the bone. Just add a little tar and gasoline and it's ready to take home. Yeah, we got the roadkill bill. Folks in Tennessee can get their fill. It's giving brand new meaning to the phrase hot off the grill. Now that we have the roadkill bill. Well, welcome friends and neighbors from all across this land. You know, the more cars on the highway, the better chance we stand. If you're driving after sundown, be sure to use your brights, 'cause we'll pick up behind you. It ain't like kings tonight. Yeah, we got the roadkill, Bill. Folks in Tennessee can get their fill. It's given brand new meaning to the phrase hot off the grill. Now that we have the roadkill bill, they say we'll have a bumper crop, and I sure hope we will. Now that we have the roadkill bill, now that we have the roadkill. Co-writers Dave Woodward and Don King credit on that one. Well, how much time do we have now, Dave?
You have 7 minutes.
Oh, 7 minutes. Okay.
One long one and a changeover, or two really
Okay.
short ones.
Okay. Maybe I'll do a sensitive one after that song.
That wasn't sensitive.
Looks good on the tuner. Not too bad. Okay. I guess I'll end, probably, most likely end here with a song that's on my CD too as well. And it came from being at my first Folk Alliance, where Kerrville had like a little jar where you can pull a name out of for a challenge to write a song while you're at the conference. So I picked it out and wrote it during the conference and played it like with the other folks that did that at the end. And the title of the song, the title that I picked was No Interest in That. So it befuddled me for a little while, how I was going to write that song, but gave it some time and made it to this. But I must get the right harmonica. Yeah. If it didn't have a light glowing bright from a screen, if it didn't have some murder and mayhem in each scene, if I didn't get a buzz once it entered my bloodstream, had no interest in that, no interest in that. If it wasn't in the tabloids stacked up in the checkout line, if it made me think too much after a long and hard day's grind, if a homeless guy was one, I would look away each time, had no interest in that. That's how I used to feel, that's how I used to be, until I stared into the eyes of a man who wasn't free. Against my better judgment, it became my concern. Now I just can't let it go, 'cause we've got no time to burn. If it doesn't come from love, if it doesn't lead to grace, if it doesn't bring a smile to at least one worried face, if it doesn't leave our planet just a little better place, got no interest in that. We all can have a vision, we all can have a dream, we all can make it true, as hard as it may seem. Alone it's all but futile, but together it will come, with a million hearts and minds working hard to get it done. if it doesn't bring some justice, if it doesn't bring some joy, if it doesn't fill the bellies of some hungry girls and boys, if it doesn't help to lift us from this dark and growing void, got no interest in that. No interest in that. I got no interest in that. No interest in that. I got no interest in that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.